Welcome everybody. This is another mildly motivated video about fixing an already tuned gun. I love this. It's in G&G. I have to admit the color is quite cool. It's some kind of grey. But this thing is pre-tuned with a lot of stuff, and of course it's not working properly. The main issue is the energy is way too high, which is interesting, and the feeding is not perfect. So we are getting feeding issues with feeding issues with heavy BBs. We got this already pre-tuned quite well, like the bearings and the bushings, a Titan and a Titan. Yeah, I have no idea why there's a Titan and a max trigger, because every Titan needs a max trigger. Okay, I just filled every gap between the screwdriver with Titan. One of these screws just got fucked. I'm so happy about it, I will find a new one. Well, anyway, the feeding problem is with heavy BBs and with bad BBs and with bad magazines. So you could argue there are no feeding issues, but there are definitely feeding issues. If you go for a very good magazine, like Spectre Arms S-Mag or in PTS 150 mag. These are feeding very well with good BBs to a point where we are starting to use quite heavy BBs. So the customer said nothing more than 0.28 would feed properly. I just found out if you're using very good BBs and a very good magazine, 0.3s are feeding quite well. Anyway, 0.32s do not feed properly. So let's find out why. The nozzle obviously is working quite well. But the cylinder head, well, there's an issue. This thing is a little bit short. We will change it out later. Let's just check everything else, but the sound of the gun was actually quite good. The air seal seems to be quite good, because this is standard G&G spring and it gives you about 1.75 joules, which is quite high. The tappet plate spring is not too good. We're gonna shorten it a little bit, so it will be stronger and the tappet plate will get a little bit more tension. Yeah, so the piston head just got itself engraved on the back of the cylinder head, which means the cylinder head would be fucked anyway, and we're gonna change it out to a proper one with the longer loading nozzle, or nozzle guide, with a longer nozzle guide. The nozzle will stay the same, of course, but the nozzle guide on the cylinder head will be a longer one. So I'm currently searching for a proper product to use here. So you're seeing nothing. And I'm back. So we are going for a point cylinder head, standard issue 1. These are quite good, and as you may see, this one's a lot longer. It's also gliding very good. This is something people always seem to forget. You have to loop your nozzle. Not too much, of course. You don't want to shoot silicone grease into your barrel, but you have to lube it if you have O-rings. So this is crucial. It has to glide. If not, you will have a massive FPS drop because of the air coming out too early. We got a short stroke here on these speed gears, but the piston isn't short stroked. Anyway, the energy is too high, so I will just give it a little bit more short stroke. So this thing will short stroke 4 teeth, I guess, to get roughly 1.4 to 1.5 joules of energy. So we have to disassemble this piston head combination, and yeah, there was no Loctite on it. I will add it later to make sure the piston head won't fly away. So we got a bad cut here, and you can see we made a proper short stroking. Magic. God damn it, focus. Yeah, whatever. So it's 40 short stroke. We short stroked the piston as well. So if you got a very high rate of fire, you won't have a pre-engagement to the piston, and the gun won't get stuck. As I said earlier, we need Loctite on the piston head, so it won't come off while the gun's working. Cause there can be too much, but yeah, let's be honest, better a little too much than too less. This piston head won't come off easily, of course, but yeah, if you got a fucked piston or a fucked piston head, you probably will change out both, so this combination can stay together forever now. Alright, so we're using the standard issue cylinder. There is nothing that speaks about against the standard issue cylinder if it's the right size, of course, and if the air seal is good. So if you guys are changing cylinders and buying them for 20 bucks or something else, just rethink about that. This is probably too much for a piece of steel or a piece of brass. And yeah, if it's sealed, it's sealed. You can't do anything else. Of course, yeah, needs to glide perfectly, and we are talking about like 2 FPS here. Yeah. So this is not much. This is definitely not much. So we got this little bit stronger spring here, which will ensure the nozzle will close properly before releasing air, and we will hopefully have no mid-cap issues. So that's it. I will just reassemble this thing, and then we will check for the feeding issues again. And if there are feeding issues left, we have to check hop and hop rubber. And if I just see all this tuning here, I would just expect a maple leaf hop rubber, probably a macaron, possibly one that's way too hard. And if the feeding issues are already a thing, or yeah, if it's staying, we will just change the hop rubber. Tighten, 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 tighten. I did it again. Okay. Max trigger. Max trigger. Max trigger. Okay, this was advanced, but it worked. Okay, so check everything. Trigger is working, nozzle is working, piston is gliding, and yeah, then there is this crazy fire selector thing on a G&G. Gearbox fits properly, of course. And yeah, this is a little bit annoying on a G&G, but it works kinda good. So yeah, there are other systems, and these are worse. Yeah, there are pros and cons on this. I personally prefer just to have one fire selector that works perfectly and not this strange MB thingy thing. Yeah. But you may have to recheck on your fire selector which way this gears have to be put, and yeah, then you have to hold them while you put everything in. And yeah, sometimes it doesn't work and you just assemble too much, and yeah, I just tend to fix one or two pins and then I will check if the fire selector is working right. So this is what I'm gonna do next. I will just add the fire selector and check if it's working. This one was obviously removed a few times and reassembled, so on the assembly thing in there, there's already a ditch, so it's quite harsh to get it in place right, but yeah, it's doable. It looks a little bit like someone just gave this thing a quite hard hit to make it fit, and it didn't fit, so there's a dent on the inside. Of course you can't see this, so if it's working, it's working, and we will not have a problem about this. Another thing I don't really understand is why G&G is going for this strange screws here. Nobody has this screwdriver at home, but anyway, these guns are not made for disassembly. Of course not. If you're doing this, you're losing your guarantee on these amazing, perfectly working, geniusly engineered guns. And in this case, well, the G&G is not engineered that bad. It's quite okay. You have this ETU thing, you have a quite sturdy gearbox. Yeah, okay, people may say it's not that sturdy, but it's okay. It's not the worst thing ever. It works for standard issue gaming. And that's it. The motor in this one is quite strong. It's not the best one I've ever seen, it's not the worst one I've ever seen. It got good magnets, it's fine. It's not a warhead, of course. But we don't need a warhead in every gun. If we do a good job, we don't need a warhead in every gun. It's quite fun, but it's more than double the price, so yeah, we could just buy another LiPo battery and just enjoy. Okay, so everything else together, we just gonna try this out. Pew pew pew. So the sound of this one is quite good, and I didn't change anything about the shimming. Next up, we will check if the feeding is working properly, and yeah, to get these together you have to sometimes pull the charging handle a little bit, wobble the hop rubber a little bit, but they are quite easy to assemble, to be honest. There are models that are way worse. So I'm not a fan of G&G, as you may remember, but this a little bit more pricier ones are quite okay for a G&G. Okay, so let's do this again. Oh, wait. Did I just... I will just check if the Titan settings are fine, cause feeding issues are sometimes caused of a wrong Titan setting. So the customer mentioned some pre-cocking here, and this is usually fine, but let's find out if he... This is fine, this is fine, this is fine. And this here, I did change it. It was to normal speed and now it's to fast speed. So it wasn't set to speed gears. And this actually may cause feeding issues with the Titan. For an ester, you don't have to do this. Precocking is on mid. Equalizes off. I just did this. And there are no errors currently, which is good. I just removed all the errors, and the firmware version is on the actual one, which is also something important for the Titan. Oh no, you've seen my face now. This is bad. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna try this. Alright, I tried this out and magic. This fucker has to come off, cause we have feeding issues, cause the nozzle is too long. No, the nozzle is not too long, the feeding lips on the hop rubber is too long. Like the Macrons don't have a standard issue feeding lip, which is completely stupid. I have no idea why. I will just clean out this barrel a little bit just to check if it's good, and yeah, afterwards I will change this hop rubber. The pink ones, is this pink? I have no idea. Rosé, this white boy's face colored hop rubber is a quite hard one. It's like, I think it's a 70 degree. And these feel harder than they are actually like they should be. And I will just change the hop rubber to an aim top one, which has standard issue feeding lips, which works perfectly fine, which have some room for using the wheel on your hop chamber, like these ones. I really like them. I have a lot of them, like 200. And they are working very, very good. By the way, this hop chamber, which is not the standard issue one, which G&G would put in this model, this is an upgraded one, is a little bit tight. I will grease up this hop rubber. But these are made very, very, very well. So this chamber will give you a very, very good consistent hop. This is mainly caused of the hop arm in there. And this here is also interesting. You may think you need a shorter hop rubber, but these clips are designed to fit above the hop rubber. So this just fit in perfectly. Okay, so the hop arm on these chambers is very, very good. If you combine this with a good barrel, I have no idea what this kind of barrel is. Maybe the standard one, so yeah, to have a bit better results, you may change it out, but I have no clue. I just thought these G&G barrels would be silver, but this one feels very cheap and it's not silver, so probably they just gave it some kind of coloring to make it look better for their upgrade style high level guns. I have no clue. Alright, so the thing's now together again, and I will try it out one more time. PTS magazine, magic. So while I'm outside shooting, I just realized the barrel's wobbling around, or the front set, the entire front set is wobbling around. You see this hole there? This one? There's a hex screw in it. This thing is the only thing preventing the whole front set, not just the RIS system, the whole front set from wobbling around. This little tiny fucker. So you may expect this, but I have a little fetish for Loctite, so I will just Loctite this fucker in place and screw it tightly. So this is good. And now, magic, the block is not wobbling. The RIS system itself is like press fit. It's so damn perfectly on this on this assembly that it won't wobble around even if I do not fix the screws again. But yeah, the barrel itself, or the barrel assembly itself is just relying on this one little screw, which is the worst idea ever. I have no clue why they did this. This is so stupid. I have no words for this. Yeah, but it's kinda easy, I think. Not cool, but easy. Yeah, this is the worst bullshit I've ever seen. Anyway, I will refix the screws. It's something, yeah, that's needed for, I don't know, optics. You could just hammer this RIS system onto there and it would fit, but well. Okay, I'm gonna speed up a little bit and show you the end results, which are quite perfect to spoil this. Got beautiful 1.4 joules, we got feeding with all kinds of BBs and all kinds of mags, except the ones that nobody uses and are fucking terrible anyway. And we have quite beautiful range and accuracy. So that's it, another G&G fixed for the next 2 games or something.